Lane screwed the blankets around her and waited, alone in the blackness, listening to her own breathing and the ticking of the clock.
"Still no comms from Station 1,
said Hammond.
"That time expert should have arrived hours ago."
Lane sighed. "I'll take the van out, see if they've got held up." The all-pervading smell and taste of the base was getting to her. Everywhere was stale tobacco, sweat and oil. She longed for a cold, fresh breeze upon her cheeks.
"If you're sure, Bragg is worried the defaulters may have captured—"
"Don't worry, I could do with a bloody break." She climbed out of her bunk and crossed to the sink. Her wrist stung. It had been bound in rags. Lane leaned on the bowl and looked into her reflection in the mirror. How long had it been? Months? Years? She'd lost track. Her door opened. Shaw appeared in the doorway. "What do you want?" she heard herself say. He stepped in. "I want some of your time." Shaw had sat on the opposite bed. "How much?" she said hoarsely. Shaw looked her up and down with his slit eyes. He smiled. "You know how much. However long it takes. I can afford you." Lane steeled herself and began to unbutton her uniform. Her skin crawled and she felt nauseous. She ignored the part of her mind telling her to stop. She avoided Shaw's eyes as he studied her, leaning back on his palms, licking his lips in anticipation. He began to undo his own shirt. Lane's eyes prickled with tears and she collapsed onto her bed and stifled her sobs. She was alone and frightened. Her chest heaved. What was happening to her? Why couldn't she remember? The next time she looked in the mirror, she saw a clock where her face should be. She gave a scream, even though she had no mouth. She reached a hand to her lips, but it touched only glass. In front of her, the second hand tick-tocked its course around the numbers. Each tick echoed in her head. A panic consumed her like drunkenness. Lane forced open a drawer and pulled out a knife. She had used this knife before. She knew what she had to do. There was only one way out now. She lay her wrist over the sink, holding it there. She rested the blade against a vein. She rocked the knife back and forth, building a rhythm. And then she swiped, hard, digging into the flesh, forcing the knife in, twisting it deeper, dragging it across her arm. But the pain didn't come. She looked down. The skin at her wrist had cleaved apart. She dropped the knife and gripped the flesh, peeling open the wound. The skin parted to reveal a mass of whirring wheels, pinions, governors, coils and springs. An intricate system of cogs and gears, spinning in perpetual motion.